It's also possible to take the chain rule multiple times. The key here is just that every time you see a derivative, you start with it as a new problem. So let's say, for example, we've got a problem that's take the derivative of cosine squared of 10, should be 10, x. The first thing to remember is that this is the same as rewriting it cosine of 10x whole thing squared. There's a rewrite step. Notice we have not taken the derivative yet. But now what we see is that if we look at the largest box that we can draw, box squared, we've got 2 times whatever was in the box times the derivative of whatever was in the box. And let's just put those little boxes back in here so that you can kind of see them here. However, the thing is that when we look at this derivative, we can see that there is another box function. There's another box function right here. So that means we have to do the chain rule a second time. This is still just along for the ride, cosine of 10x. But now we're going to do the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine of 10x. And then we have to do the derivative of what's in the box again. So, we've got 2 cosine 10x times negative sine 10x. Derivative of 10x is just plain old 10. And now we can take all of our coefficients, multiply them together. That's negative 20 cosine of 10x times sine of 10x. The key to this problem is that once we've done this and we're looking at this derivative right here, we're treating this derivative as if it were a new problem. This part right here is just along for the ride. And when we do that, we can see that, oh, look, just as if this was a new problem, we're going to have a chain rule. Let's do another one of those for practice. Let's take the derivative of e to the sine of 7x. So our biggest box we can draw, e to the sine of 7x, is in the box. So we're going to start by doing the derivative of e to the box, which is e to the box, times the derivative of what's in the box, Now this part's done. It's just along for the ride. We're only going to be working with this part. And now when I come over here, I can see that here, sine of, there's another box right there. So I'm going to do the derivative of sine, which I know is cosine, but it's cosine of what's in the box times the derivative of the box. So cosine of 7x times the derivative of 7x. Now these two pieces are done, so we just have to do the derivative here. Derivative of 7x is 7, and we can rewrite that with the coefficient at the front. And we're done. That brings us at last to our check for understanding problems. For our first one, let's do the derivative of e to the sine of 2x and then our second one, let's do the derivative of cosine to the fourth of 7x. Try those on your own. Restart the video when you're ready. Pause the video now. Okay, for the first one, I noticed that e to the x is a box function, so I put a box around the sine of 2x. That means when I take the derivative of e to the box, which is just e to the box, I then take the derivative of the sine of 2x. Sine is also a box function, so I'm going to have to do the chain rule again with the 2x. First though, the derivative of sine is cosine, so cosine of the box, and then times the derivative of what's in the box, derivative of 2x. Now when I take this derivative, it gives me that 2. E to the sine of 2x times cosine of 2x times 2. Here, the derivative of cosine to the fourth, 7x, is the same as the cosine of 7x to the fourth. So I'm just going to rewrite that I'm still taking the derivative of this. Notice this d dx is here still because I haven't taken the derivative yet. I'm just rewriting. That's just my rewrite step. Now I'm going to take the derivative. That's why the d dx goes away. Box to the fourth becomes 4 box to the third. Inside the box is the cosine of 7x, so I'm going to have to take the derivative of that. I notice that there's another box function right here. So when I take the derivative here, the derivative of cosine becomes negative sine of whatever's in the box, and then the derivative of what's in the box, which is 7x. Derivative of 7x is 7, which gives me this line right here. Multiply the coefficients together to get negative 28. Cosine of 7x, all of that cubed, times the sine of 7x.